Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving straight into a chilling urban legend that really preys on that universal fear of the unknown. I mean, we've all been there, right? You're driving down a dark, isolated road, kind of white-knuckling the steering wheel, wondering what exactly might be waiting for you just beyond the reach of your headlights. Well, today, we are exploring a myth so endearing, it has literally kept locals terrified for decades.
So, let's kick this off with a question that honestly gets right under your skin. What if a completely abandoned vehicle wasn't just sitting there, but was actively hunting for passengers? It's a total reversal of how we normally think about cars, not as machines that we control, but as something with its own agency and a seriously sinister agenda.
And to take it a step further, what if literally every single person who stepped inside mysteriously died within hours? Zero survivors. Absolutely no witnesses left to explain what actually happens when those doors close. That 100% mortality rate is exactly what takes this from a simple, spooky ghost story to a paralyzing local phenomenon.
Section 1. The Midnight Phenomenon, a forgotten highway's deadly secret. Picture this, a forgotten stretch of highway slicing through a dense forest. Locals know to avoid it at all costs once the sun goes down. By day, it's totally normal, perfectly safe, if a bit lonely. But the second the clock strikes midnight, the whole vibe shifts. A thick fog rolls in, things get deadly, and drivers start reporting something downright terrifying. An old, black sedan parked right on the shoulder. Its headlights are blazing, but the engine is completely silent. And the absolute wildest part? Even though it's empty, the driver's door slowly swings open all on its own, like it's literally inviting you inside.
Section 2. A pattern of death. Decades of disappearances. Now, this isn't just some one-off campfire story. We're talking about a systematic pattern of disappearances stretching back decades. The legend's first known victims were 4 college friends. Their car broke down in the pouring rain right in the middle of this forest. As they're frantically looking for help, they spot this silent, driverless black sedan waiting in the dark. One of the students actually makes this tragic joke, saying, "Looks like someone left us a free ride." The second all 4 of them got in, the doors slammed shut, locked them inside, the engine roared to life on its own, and the car just sped off into the fog. When rescue teams finally found those kids the next morning, and this goes for the countless hikers and truckers over the next 20 years too, the sterile facts of their condition were always bizarrely identical. Absolutely no physical injuries, not a single sign of violence. Medically speaking, doctors could only point to sudden cardiac arrest, but investigators always fixated on one deeply disturbing detail. Every single victim's face was literally frozen in an expression of pure, unadulterated terror. It clearly pointed to an encounter with something completely beyond human understanding. Moving to Section 3, the journalist's investigation. Daniel Carter confronts the legend.
So, an investigative journalist named Daniel Carter decides he's going to tackle this legend head-on to see how it actually works. He spends a whole week out on this highway, loaded up with night vision cameras and motion sensors. The first 2 nights, crickets. But on night 3, at exactly 2:13 a.m., Carter comes face-to-face with the silent black sedan, and things escalate in a very specific sequence. Step 1, the second he reaches for the door, every single electronic device he has just completely dies. Step 2, the temperature plummets. Step 3, that driver's side door slowly creaks open all by itself. And finally, Step 4, a freezing wind blows straight out of the empty cabin, followed by a whisper. From the freezing, empty interior of that car, Carter hears a single, chilling whisper say, "Come with us." I mean, talk about a nope moment. Completely terrified by how unnatural the whole thing was, he immediately backed away.
Within seconds, the car just vanished into the pitch black. But here's the real kicker. When Carter's gear finally powered back up, he hadn't captured a single thing. Every ounce of his electronic evidence was completely wiped clean. The only thing left on the recordings was this bizarre, unexplained static.
Section 4, the forgotten tragic origin. Digging into the archives.
Desperate for any logical explanation for what he'd just seen, Carter starts digging through old newspaper archives, and he actually uncovers the tragic genesis of this whole thing. The timeline traces all the way back 35 years to a horrific accident during a massive violent storm. It's set as a forgotten tragedy for 20 years of silence, until those 4 college students became the first victims, kicking off a chain of events that leads right up to Carter's recent investigation.
And the crucial number in all of this? 5. That storm 35 years ago claimed the lives of a family of 5 when their black sedan skidded off the road and plunged into a massive ravine.
Because the rain was so heavy, rescue teams got there way too late. But the most unsettling part? That family's black sedan was never actually recovered. Locals believe their spirits never left those woods and that the vehicle is forever prowling the highway, searching for new passengers to join their family in the dark.
Section 5. The Sole Survivor. The only man to escape.
Now, I know we established that nobody survives this car, but there's actually one mind-bending exception. An elderly villager claims he managed to escape it years ago, and his account of what it's like inside is pure nightmare fuel. He said the seats were freezing cold. When he looked at the windows, they didn't reflect his own face. They reflected strange, unknown faces. But it gets worse. He looks in the rearview mirror, and there is a family of 5 sitting dead silent in the back seat. Their eyes were pitch black. And then, the youngest child slowly smiled at him. Luckily, the old man bolted and threw himself out right before the door sealed shut, but man, he was plagued by severe nightmares for the rest of his life.
So we're left with this crazy disconnect. On one hand, official investigations give us absolutely nothing. No confirmed existence, no verified photos, 0 scientific explanations. But on the flip side, you have the locals. Generation after generation of sightings. Truckers swearing they've seen glowing headlights slicing through the fog, heard the crunch of invisible tires rolling right behind them, and watched an empty black sedan cruise past in total silence.
So, what's the big takeaway from today's explainer? It boils down to a very urgent, very simple local rule of survival that has persisted for generations. If you're ever traveling down a deserted road and you spot a black car waiting with its doors open, keep driving. Do not stop, because clearly some rides never reach their destination.
Which brings us to our final lingering thought. Is this haunted car literally just an urban legend? You know, some shared illusion born out of our primal fear of the dark and the unknown? Or is there actually something supernatural waiting out there on that lonely highway after midnight? Really think about that. What do you think is going to happen when the clock strikes midnight on your next late night drive? Stay curious, stay focused, and I'll catch you in our next explainer.